Hi guys, it's David. Just wanted to show you some of the projects I'm doing with my boys. They got into playing Halo Reach and found out that some of these costumes that these guys are wearing in the 3D animation in the game is actually something that they can have themselves. So I started doing some research and learned that there's this thing called Pepakura, which is Japanese for papercraft, that you can actually print out geometric shapes, have them folded, and glue the tabs together, and this is actually the end result right here. This is the EOD helmet, and what I've done with this is actually printed it out on 110 cardstock and put it all together. And I've taken fiberglass resin and put about 3 coats on the inside there. And I've just painted 1 coat on the outside. And I'm anticipating probably painting, a couple more coats on the outside. And then I'll probably use Bondo to start to shape it up a little bit here. So this is the second project I started, but I thought this was a good opener to give you some good idea of how they can look. They're a lot of tedious work, as you can see in the bridge of the nose right here, and in these little things that come up alongside the nose. There's a lot of small parts, and let me see if I can. I'm using my smartphone. I don't think it's going to show very well, but anyway, those are numbers. The little black things are numbers, and you match the numbers. It's kind of like connecting the dots. But a lot of small, tedious folds, and gluing all that together. It took some time, but it came out pretty good. Anyway, that's the second project I was working on, and over here I've got the actual armor plating. This is the back piece for let's see, it's a ODST is the helmet, and this is the ODST armor, and this is actually the back plate. Now this, I can't show it because I only got one hand to work with, but this right here was actually a part of the front piece, which is right here. Sorry guys, I got a cold, so that's probably why I sound pretty bad, but anyway, the front and back piece, let's see if I can get it to stand, they're actually together. Well, that ain't gonna work, but anyway, you get the idea. And I had to cut. I did it too soon. I should have had it finished, bondoed, and painted before I decided to, look at this just, strategically and make the cut where I can put the Velcro in here. But I have this hardened with fiberglass resin with a mat, and I don't have it hardened everywhere. I've left some parts flexible so that I can actually put the Velcro straps in there, make it fit a little easier, and then I'll probably do something to firm that up so it won't crack and bust under use. But it fits my kids pretty good, and obviously, I don't know if I'll try and do this. I had to cut it simply because that is not a large enough hole for my kid's head to fit through, so I had to do something about that. That's why I made it into 2 different pieces. But when you put it together, it's all one piece. So this is the less complex papercraft that you can do to put together. It was the I think this is a good learning papercraft project to do. It doesn't have that many small pieces, and you can put it together relatively fast. I think the tedious part is actually cutting them out and then putting the pieces together. But when you start to see things come together like this, that's when you start to get excited about it and say, yeah, I want to finish this up. So anyway, there's that. This right here is the ODST helmet, and a little heavy. I can get it balanced on this thing here. I got it covered with silicone right now because I'm going to mold it. I'm going to actually make 2 helmets out of plastic. So this was actually the first helmet, the first project I started, and I figured it was going to be trial and error, and that I would do things out of order, remove things before I should have removed them, but you know, I've made some mistakes along the way. But the nice thing about it is I know that I can repair things. I'm pretty good at making things happen. If I make a mistake, I can go back and repair them, fix them as best I possibly can. So anyway, yeah, peel off this. This is one of the things that I did prematurely, was peel apart the silicone before I actually had both sides of the mother mold on, which I'm going to show you the mother mold in a minute. But just wanted to show you, I actually have this painted with an olive green. You know, I'm not going to peel off this side because I'm actually going to videotape me putting on the mother mold on this side. I'm going to do something different, and I'm going to explain in each video how I do things. You know, basically, how do I get this slicked up? How do I get the silicone on there? What kind of silicone I use and things like that. I do want to give a lot of credit to a guy that I found on YouTube that actually does this. I believe he does it for a living. Either that or it's a serious hobby. I've learned a lot from his YouTube channel, and you might want to go check it out. It's Trouble Is 1983. Just run all those words together. It's Trouble Is 1983. Go check out his YouTube channel. I'll try to put a link below. You can learn a lot from him. That's where I got a lot of my information from. There's a lot of other YouTube users out there that are doing the same thing, and they've got different ideas on how they do things. For instance, a lot of people, when they're going to pull a cast of one of their models like this, they use a fiberglass mother mold over this, maybe using the cloth or the resin with the lips, you know, so that they can put the 2 sides together. What I did was completely different. I'll show you what I did here. I used this right here. I don't know if you can see it. There we go. This is actually, that is rock solid right there. And that is paper mache, actually. You know, it's just kind of flaking a little bit on the inside. I don't know what kind of a lifespan it's going to have. I would imagine if I were to put a light coat of either glue or fiberglass resin on the inside, it won't flake. It'll hold together pretty well. It'd probably have a longer life. But the recipe that I used to make this paper mache was simply some cheap toilet paper. I used Elmer's glue and joint compound. And there's measurements that you use. Mix it all up, make sure the toilet paper is wet and peeled apart. Use a blender to just whip it and blend it all up real good, and then you just start caking it on your mold here. And that's what actually came out. The problem that I could see, that I had anyway, was having the patience to let it dry, and I actually peeled it off a little prematurely. So this thing actually took about 3 days to thoroughly dry. Now, I'm in the winter time here where I'm at, and it's damp outside, so I had to sit it in front of the heater, and that's why it's kind of got this brown tinge on it. I don't know if you can see it or not. The white balance on this thing is trying to get everything white, but nonetheless, you know, that's, well, let's see, it's white on the inside. But this side wasn't exposed to the heater either, so it probably just cooked it a little bit, you know, the way I see it, because I had it next to a real high-intensity room heater, and that's how I got it to dry. But when I peeled it off, I think I flexed it just enough to where when I put the silicone in it, I'll do that real quick. I got the keys in there. That's what these little triangles are for. Let me show you those real quick. You can see the triangles right there, and then you can see the triangles on the silicone. That makes sure everything fits right in order. Okay, but so I get the silicone back in the mother mold here, and what I find out is actually the face shield, which is right there. The face shield doesn't quite want to lay down into the silicone doesn't want to lay into the mother mold that well. We got a little bit of a problem there. We got some space. So, and I've made sure that the keys are in nice and tight and everything's in the right way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this back on the original helmet, and I'm going to actually pull another mother mold over it, but this time I'm going to use cheesecloth. I'm not going to use the toilet paper, and I'm going to use a mixture of the same thing, but I'm going to add some white flour to it just to kind of thicken it up a little bit. Not real thick, but just give it some, you know, enough where it'll cake, but smooth on real good. Okay, so that's the plan anyway. But yeah, that's what I wanted to show you, what I'm doing around here, and I thought it was fun, and maybe some other people might want to take up these kinds of projects. So I'm going to be making some more videos on what I'm doing to make all this happen and get put together, and pretty soon I hope to have an end result to let you see what that's like. Alright guys, just wanted to share. Thanks for watching.